It's so wonderful being here this morning and feeling this powerful music flow through and seeing these smiling faces and feeling the open hearts. And there's a part of me that wants to carry you home with me in my pocket. But instead, what I'm going to carry home with me in my pocket every day is my phone. And the thing about my phone is it's my friend. It helps me take pictures and shows me podcasts. And it's wonderful. But it also brings war to my attention multiple times a day. Okay, multiple times an hour. I think thoughts of peace, and then I open my phone to call a friend, and by golly, there's a text from someone saying, "Did you see what they did in Washington today? We're under attack." My stomach clenches up because suddenly I do see what they did. I do my best not to watch the news. I don't watch the news. I tell myself I don't watch the news. I read the New York Times once a day. I tell myself on my phone just once. But it keeps sending me little bulletins of what's happening in Ukraine or in Gaza, and I put my phone away, and I feel Gaza and Ukraine and Washington, D.C. still here clenched up in my stomach. And so I'm guessing I'm not the only one in the room with that situation going on. I'm going to put my phone away. And choose to use some of the tools that I have in my tool chest to deal with that feeling. I'm going to share them with you because that's what I love to do. They're my tools. They may or may not work for you, but I share them in the spirit of co-creative energy. So, I begin with the power of poetry. There are books of poetry all around our house, and we have a big fat notebook of the poems that we shared in the Celebration Circle. Hundreds of them now from 33 years of sharing a poem every Sunday, which I consider our scripture. And this is one of the most powerful poems that we've shared here over the years. Pablo Neruda, Keeping Quiet. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for a second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines. We'd all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would not look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, wars with no survivors, no victories, no survivors to put on clean clothes. They would walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Now, I'll count up to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go. Poetry takes us to that place beyond thought and into the place of the eternal. I'd like to go back to that first verse if I could. Now we will I start with the title, Keeping Quiet. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still for once on the face of the earth. Let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for a second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a strange suddenness. Now, why doesn't Rudi talk about counting to 12? What's magic about the number 12? Well, he is referring to the old analog clocks. And in his poem, he's imagining himself a clock speaking to other clocks. Mechanical clocks moving relentlessly forward, because there's things to do. We got schedules to keep. We got a 5-year plan, which translates into this year's plan into a weekly round and round it goes. And he's saying, now we'll count to 12, go around to the top, and we'll all just stop and not move our arms so much. We get caught up in the doingness and the beingness, and that's bad enough in our own lives. But when the phone beeps, or the computer or the TV reminds you about all the terrible things in the world, what happens, in my mind, is suddenly I am caught up with needing to fight Washington, D.C. and everybody in it. And especially that guy who thinks he's king. He's not king of me. I'm gonna. Where's the war go? Is it in Ukraine? Is it Washington, D.C.? No, it's here. Let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for a second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. And what's the sudden strangeness? It's that place of peace we all long for. The old clocks, I don't know, maybe you grew up with a clock that had a pendulum in your house, your grandma's house, uncle's house. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. You'd hear it all night long. I certainly did in my house. And here's what I'm suggesting. What I'm suggesting that as the pendulum swings back and forth, you stop the pendulum right here. Why? Because physics makes us understand that every pendulum, whether it's this one I'm holding in my hand, or the clock, or the one that's on the Tower of Big Ben in London, every pendulum moves one way and then the other way, right? But at the moment when it's not moving this way or that way, it is perfectly still. And it is infinity. Breathe into that for a moment. Breathe into the thought that if I let my arms stop moving around so much in reaction to the world and all its many stimuli disturbing me, winding me up tighter than any clock ever could or would. And I am free, I am always free to stop the pendulum and sink into the infinity of not going this way or that way. Neither the hope nor the fear. Because both are equally disturbing. That hope, that yay, we're winning, the jazz is great, yay. That's wonderful, but it's also not peaceful. And the other side, when the pendulum swings to the other side, and I'm suddenly mad about what's happening over there because that person's disturbing the world and ruining the environment and waging war. I am free to stop the pendulum and sink into the present moment now. And now. Because it takes just a few seconds for my mind to go from the peaceful place to the place of war, especially when it's feeling triggered by someone or something else. take a moment to think of the most disturbing thing you can think of that's happened to you lately. Now, when you're thinking of that thing that happened to you back then, where are you? I would argue that you're nowhere. You're not really in the past, you can't be in the past. And you're certainly not in the present because you're carrying around that guy, that thing, that circumstance. Now I want to be real clear that when I'm talking about disturbing circumstances, there are some truly disturbing circumstances that require your attention immediately. Someone points a gun at your face and says, give me all your money. Suddenly you've got to pay attention to what's happening right now, right? And when that happens, when you're confronted with a real danger of someone pointing a gun at you or some imminent, awful thing, what happens? You are programmed by nature to hold your breath. Because a deer that's frightened, or a bird that's frightened, or any moving creature on the planet, when they're frightened, will hold their breath and stand still for just a moment and evaluate. Do I need to fly or stay? Flee or fight? And while it's time to decide, it holds its breath because A, it needs to be still and not be seen by that thing out there, the guy with the gun, that tiger out in the woods. It holds still, it holds its breath, digestion shuts down, thought processes are suddenly the most important thing. So your mind goes, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay? All of which is very important when someone is pointing a gun at you. Or when you're having to deal with a doctor's very real diagnosis about you or a friend. Important. But most of what we react to, especially stuff on the phone or what other people say to us, is stuff that's not really dangerous. The real danger is our reaction to it. Because it keeps us in this place of not breathing and staying poised to fight or fly. Okay? And when we're in that place, we're nowhere. That place that's in our mind fighting the battles of last week, or anticipating what's going to happen if that bill passes Congress, or if yet another executive order gets signed, then it's going to, you see what I'm saying? Then you're nowhere. And the key, the tool, is to breathe consciously into this moment so that you can be here. That you can be fully present with whatever you have to give to life. And what made the difference between being nowhere and being now here? The space. And what is the space? It's the breath. It's the stopping the pendulum. It's the registering that your body's tense and that you're manic. No, being aware and sinking into that space. And how do you do that? I got no idea how you do it. I know how I do it. Me, myself, it helps me to find my feet. Wherever I am, whether I'm standing or sitting, it helps me to get into my body, out of my head and into my body. But then I'm a Taurus, and my body and being comfortable is really important to me. I just learned that from an astrologer yesterday. So as a Taurus, you have a strong need to feel good, to wear soft clothes and eat nice food and be comfortable. I said, yeah. But at some level, you and I are always free to move into a place where we are at peace, where we feel grounded in our feet, in our body, fully present, not in our heads where the arms are moving around so much, but in the body where the breath flows, where the blood flows, where digestion flows easily. If we could just get out of the way and stop moving our arms around so much. Another wonderful poem, After Syria, After Charlottesville, by Rosemary Watola Tromer. It might have easily just been after Ukraine, after that scene in the kitchen this morning. And there on the list, and there on the to-do list, somewhere beneath post office and above pay the bills, is a single word not yet crossed out: peace. You've written it in ink as if to offer it permanence, an urgency that can't be erased. Every day you look at it, wondering if this is the day that goodwill will come as easily as changing the burned out light bulbs or taking the garbage out. After a while, you almost stop believing you will ever cross it off. After a while, it might seem just like any other thing you wrote on the list, then ignore, like clean beneath the piano or organize the garage. And then the news will shake you, will render your duties small, and you'll write it at the top of the list, in all caps, underlined in blue: peace. Not something to do, but something to serve, something to practice as you move through the day, something to inform the way you unfold the sheets, you drive to town, you attend the meeting, you make the call, you write the letter. You do what must be done. See, it's easy to almost stop believing you'll ever be able to cross it off your list because the peace is out there, something that you'll attain when you're better at yoga, or you've lost more weight, or you finally got the house clean and organized. That's when peace will come. No, no, no. Now, and now, and now. We sink into being now, here. And as you sink into this place, as you come fully present now, here become capitalized from the inside out. And it's nothing anyone can do for you. And it's nothing that can wait till tomorrow. It can never happen tomorrow. It can only happen now. And now. And now. That's my story, but I'm sticking to it.
Throw off the bonds of your conditioning and fear and celebrate the wonder of being here. Experience this moment as it is, connected by breath and essence to the whole. You couldn't be separate if you tried. Live this day as if the earth exhales blessings in your direction, as if trees speak their deepest secrets in your ear, as if bird songs can lift you outside your ordinary state of mind and bring you into truth. Be the creative juice flowing through the universe. Be silence and stillness. The ocean of love so palpable that not one cell of you disputes the truth that you are that. Experience this moment as it is.
Just as the music flows through Aaron's fingers and the keys blend one into the next, so too your thoughts, your feelings, sensations move through your body. Feel all that and choose to sink into the space between your thoughts, between your feelings. Now, your mind may well drift off again. That's what minds do. Turn now to the space between your thoughts, to the place between your breaths. Now, feeling this peace and power, feel too your willingness to greet disturbing news and people from a place of peace, a willingness to wage peace, centered in the now and now. And now, as an act of courage and will, send forth your feeling of peace out into the world. Radiating your love, your light, your willingness to be an instrument of peace. One thought, one hug, one phone call, one moment of silence at a time, co-creating peace. May you, may we, may all beings be blessed now and now. And now, by your willingness to do this. And so it is.